Hello, everybody. You're listening to the Big Chill Podcast. This is episode 532, Same Old Tiger. Hello, Big Chillians, and welcome back to the Big Chill Podcast. I'm Frank, joined as always with Eddie. Eddie, we were just having a good laugh pre-podcast, but I do have some sad news to report.
Uh-oh.
That's happening in Tucson, Arizona.
Oh, okay.
They are demolishing the roller rink.
Oh no!
We have our hockey leagues in.
Oh no!
In favor of a massive casino they're putting into place.
Oh my God! This is sad times. Never thought we'd get another play out of this.
Awesome.
Well, what does that mean?
The Tucson Indoor Sports Center. Goodbye. Well, I mean, they're putting in permanent ice rinks that will be done in like 2 to 3 years. So I think most people will just play ice full time and not kind of do both. They might put a rink somewhere else. I mean, it really sucks they have a really good club. The university has a really good club roller hockey team. Like they're number 3 in the country right now. So in a few, after this season, they're not going to have a place to play, which is crazy.
Kind of blows my mind that the university doesn't have those facilities themselves. I mean, I guess it's a little niche, but I mean, my university didn't have a roller rink.
No.
Then again, I don't think we had any sports teams relating to skating, so there's that bit. But so is this effectively your retirement? Are you going to be?
There's a few questions involved there. So I mean, I'll probably end up just playing ice. It's just that I haven't played ice hockey in 25 years. So I'm not as good of a skater on ice as I am on roller. But we were talking because it kind of there was like an email, which was kind of weird. There was an email sent out, hey, there's a really important meeting about the future of the rink on Thursday. And then the meeting came Thursday and people thought it was going to be like hey, this might happen. This is what we need to do, like blah, blah, blah. And it was just basically, hey, the rink's getting demolished by June. like, why couldn't that just been the email? I don't know. Like it was played off as if, we need people to come and show their support and maybe we can get this going. So
you know what this tells us, Frank? You've been watching too many episodes of the Mighty Ducks. And you thought there was going to be some community push to save the rink. Who's going to, somebody think of the children. You thought that was going to happen. And instead, the cold, hard reality of the real world hit you smack in the face.
Yep. To put on a Native American casino.
There you go.
But I mean, they might be able to just take the rink apart and put it somewhere else if they can find a spot to put it. But it's just that this was a good setup because it had a nice bar and a little.
Is your backyard big enough?
It is.
Oh well, I
thought about it.
There you go. This is your calling. And that's a documentary. This is
could be one. But we were saying the other thing too now is since it's going to be demolished soon, there's only a set amount of games left, and the day before the announcement, we had a round of games, and the last game of the day was our team's game, and I played really well, and it went to a shootout, and I scored the game-winning shootout to win it on a move that 9 times out of 10 I can't do, but I just was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go for it, and did it perfectly and scored for the win, and I came off, and then the other kids were just like, dude, just retire, that's it. You're done in 2 months anyway. Just end on that note. So there's we've been discussing if you have a really, really good game and there's 4 games left, do you just walk off on a really good game and just never come back?
I think that this explains that mentality explains why your team's not winning any titles. If right there we see inside the minds of some losers there.
But yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully it just gets moved to somewhere else. I mean, it would just really suck for the actual university students who, are pretty good players to not have a rink anymore would really suck.
And there are no other rinks in Tucson. That's it.
Not in line. Yeah, there's outdoor ones, but I mean that's terrible for your equipment. It'll tear your wheels up and stuff.
Oh,
the outdoor rinks.
Tell me about it. I've lost so many wheels that way. That's why I had to retire. But speaking of a topic that I'm sure will please you, someone who seemingly isn't close to retirement. This isn't live golf talk, but it is a little bit of golf talk. Tiger Woods, I don't know if you saw, he's playing in the Sony Genesis Open this weekend, where he claims he's in it to win it, although the scoreboard
he might miss the cut.
Scoreboard says otherwise. But he was paired with Justin Thomas yesterday. And after outdriving Justin Thomas on the 9th hole, he discreetly slipped something into Justin Thomas's hand, which got a little chuckle out of Justin Thomas. And it was caught by photographers. They were able to see exactly what it was. Some people speculated that it was money. Other people thought maybe it was some kind of note, something he'd written, a funny joke.
Drugs.
Turns out, a hooker's phone number. Turns out instead it was a Tampax. So obviously it was his little out joke after outdriving Justin Thomas that he slipped a Tampax in. Now, I don't think we have to discuss, there's a little bit of a backlash associated with this joke. Feels like society has maybe moved past the drive like a girl, hit like a girl, throw like a girl, all of that kind of discussion. And you'd think Tiger Woods, as a dad has a daughter, might not want to be reinforcing that kind of old school behavior. Throw out all of the analysis of whether it's a good joke, a bad joke, a right joke, a wrong joke. I want to ask you, how frequently do you think Tiger Woods has a Tampax in his golf bag, just on the off chance the opportunity presents himself for him to pull out that joke?
To be honest, I don't even know. That's such a weird thing to. Is it in his golf bag or is it in his back pocket even?
Oh, he's not.
Is he just carrying them around all day, just waiting for the opportunity to burn someone in like a 1990s joke?
Well, that's the other thing too,
or,
right? Do you think the people...
Or is he like... Go ahead.
Do you think the people who play with him on a consistent basis, just like who you assume Tiger outdrives probably all the time, it's just like, oh God, Tiger's outdriven me again. Gonna get another Tampax. Here we go. Tampax number 17 of the round. We get it, Tiger.
I mean, that's true. That's also true. Does he do it every time? Or does Justin Thomas give it back to him if he outdrives him on the next hole? Yes. Is it like a placeholder?
Yeah. Seemingly it's... he and Justin Thomas, it's clear, have a pretty good relationship, so I'm sure he picked it. The thing you have to think is that morning, he packed it, right? Or he asked his caddy to pack it. So their forethought went into this. The opportunity just didn't randomly appear. And then it becomes even more pathetic if you think, if he didn't ahead of time say, this is the hole now, like we're having a little bet, let's see who can outdrive each other. If otherwise he was just waiting for, well, I'm going to wait for the one par 4 or par 5 where I outdrive him, and then I'm going to slip the Tampax into his hand. That's the other thing I would question. Like, did Justin Thomas, did they stand on the tee ahead of time and go, long drive competition? Because if not, this is even more pathetic.
Yeah. When you first were telling this story, I thought for a second maybe they were a big fan of Amanda Bynes and She's the Man, where she convinces all the male soccer players that they work great for nosebleeds. And I thought maybe Justin Thomas had a nosebleed, and this was like Tiger Woods' big secret. But no, he's just playing a lame joke.
Which isn't surprising, right? I don't think... It seems in line with Tiger's character, but he's definitely facing a bit of a backlash for it.
Yeah. I did see that... his driving on the first round was pretty impressive. He was, I think, 15 or 20 yards above the tour average at his age and his frail conditions.
Because he knew he had that Tampax in his back pocket and he knew he had to get it out there. It was an extra.
Maybe he had it just for this tournament as motivation
Oh,
to hit the ball extra hard.
it's like his lucky rabbit's foot. He's just going to carry. Yeah.
Just as fluffy.
Yeah. Or yeah.
And white.
Yeah. Yeah. But more practical, I guess. But no, a strange move and good way to get yourself on the back pages without doing anything notable as an actual golfer. So just the kind of...
I guess speaking of Tiger Woods, Eddie, I had a post that was on Golf Digest Instagram, and I want you to tell me which one of these options you would pick and how pointless of a post this is by Golf Digest. So it says $1 million on the line. Who do you take? Option 1, Patrick Mahomes needing a touchdown in the fourth quarter. Option 2, Tiger Woods 10-foot birdie putt on the 72nd hole. Option 3, LeBron James three-pointer in overtime. Option 4, Messi penalty kick in the 90th minute. First off, they are not very comparable in any sense.
No, I mean, it's obviously the penalty. I mean, the penalty is clearly, you're talking about something that any professional footballer, it's just like 75% conversion rate on average versus...
But it's not as if Messi is like number one all time in penalties.
No, well, yeah, but LeBron isn't number one.
Like,
they should have at least picked Steph Curry for the 3-pointer. Then I maybe start to think about it. But is it a wide open 3? Is it contested 3? How far behind the 3-point line is he? Same. I mean, I know it's a stupid question, but like at least with the penalty and the Tiger Woods putt, although the putt you still need a bit more information. Like, is this just a dead straight on the maybe slightly uphill even putt? Or is it like a curve?
Or is it Happy Gilmore? You got to go around a car and a stand.
Yeah, he's got a ton of break that he's got to read into it. We don't know the situation there. It's got to be the penalty. It's the only one in which you have a controlled environment where you would know exactly and where you'd be heavily...
And all of those compared to an entire touchdown in the fourth quarter by Mahomes. Like, that's an entire drive you got to put together.
They don't tell you where he's starting, right? So, yeah. Is it Patrick Mahomes on the 1-yard line with 3 seconds to go? Even then, I take the penalty kick. Like, there is no scenario where any of those... You could tell me Steph Curry wide open in the corner. You could tell me Patrick Mahomes from the 1-yard line with 4 downs. I'd still take the penalty. Like, just it's...
How about in the Super Bowl, would you take Colin Kaepernick from the 5-yard line with 4 downs to win the Super Bowl? Would you take that?
Absolutely, every time. I'd say
if only we had evidence.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's and it's a shame because you could probably come up with a better list. Like the penalty equivalent in the NBA would be, I don't know, Steph Curry with a 1 free throw. Like that would be a single free throw to win the game.
2. He has to make both.
Yeah, that would probably be about an equivalent percentage. You could figure out where Tiger Woods has a 75% make rate from. I doubt it's 8 feet. I don't know. And then for the NFL, you'd want like a Justin Tucker field goal. It would have to be that. It'd be like Justin Tucker from 40 yards. Who are you taking then? It would be, you'd have to quarterback.
Golf Digest really, really botched this.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, because at first I was like, oh, this could be good to talk about. And then I read through them and I was like, these are not comparable at all.
Yeah.
But have you watched, Eddie, Full Swing, the golf Netflix documentary yet?
I watched 1 episode of it. I feel like I might be like out sports.
Golfed?
No, just like the season-long sports documentaries. I feel like...
overplayed.
Yeah, I feel like we maybe don't want...
Been there, done
we
that.
don't need one for every sport, maybe. Maybe this is what we're figuring out. Like, I get it. If you're a huge golf fan and you've not watched the rest, this is great. If you're a huge tennis fan and you haven't watched the rest, this is great. But if you're someone like me or you, where it's like, I've watched the Manchester City one, the Tottenham Hotspur one, I watch Hard Knocks, I've watched Last Chance of You, like I feel slightly overwhelmed by how much do I want to invest in finding out how Rory McIlroy mentally and physically prepares for a golf season. Turns out not as much as I maybe thought.
I might, because I'm assuming they have to capture the live controversy in there,
They do.
right?
They picked the best,
Okay.
absolute best season to ever do this.
So I'll probably watch it because I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Live Golf Tour.
Yeah, but
Can't wait
be
to go when it's
careful
in Tucson.
when they besmirch the good name of the Live Golf Tour. You might destroy your TV or something. So
Oh
it
shit!
might be like one of those fake videos that come out after every NFL game of angry Eagles fan destroys TV after Chiefs game-winning field goal. How many people? Sports Center shares another one of those. How often are we going to believe that A, you're filming it, B, the guy's right by the TV, C, surprisingly enough, not the greatest TV you've ever seen? You know, like it's always, hey, you probably bought that TV, I don't know, 15 years ago, and you've either just replaced it or decided you were about to throw it out. Like, and good, you got a million views through Sports Center for terrible acting while you smashed it.
Yeah, I think I might watch it, at least watch a little bit of it, just because I don't follow golf. I don't follow the tour super regularly, but I follow like the lives of the players, I guess you could say, like through news reports and things like that. So it'd be a good in between for me, where a lot of it would probably be new to me. So, and potentially interesting with the whole live
I
golf tour
would
part.
probably,
But I agree. I agree that it's being overplayed. Especially like the Last Chance U and stuff. It's a little different because it's like a unique
yeah,
situation and like there's unique stories to it. But like even Hard Knocks, I don't watch Hard Knocks anymore. It just became every time it's the same thing. You have quirky rookie, you have really good rookie who's also kind of strange. You have like it's the same shit every year. You have a coach who's an asshole. You have a coach who's really funny. It's like we get it.
the one I would have actually, from a golf perspective, I would have rather they have done like the Corn Ferry Tour and looked at golfers struggling to make the PGA, where it would have felt like they had more on the line. Like I know Rory McIlroy will internally feel like he has a lot on the line, and he'll be thinking about his legacy and trying to put himself down as one of the all-time great golfers. But fundamentally, there's nothing left for Rory McIlroy. He's never has to worry about money again in his life. He's guaranteed to be able to make money for the rest of his life. He's won enough to retire and kind of make anyone's short list for greatest golfers of all time. So hearing his thoughts on the game of golf and the pressure that he goes through, to me, it's not that interesting. Whereas if you did go to some guy trying to get his PGA, like his tour card, and really struggling, and also then getting a better understanding of what that life is like, versus like, oh wow, look, Roy McIlroy on another private jet flying to Hawaii for a tournament. Must be tough. He's going to tell me how hard it is for him to be away from his family all the time. Boo hoo! I feel so sorry for him. And I like Rory McIlroy. I'm not trying to, and I'm just picking on him because he is one of the central figures within the show. But yeah, it's the Corn Ferry Tour. I think I would have rather, even the European Tour. You could have told me there's a little bit more on the line there for the average golfer. They're not just life isn't pretty set already.
Not super exciting in sports. There is some European football we can discuss, but the only little news I have from the NFL that's trickled down is what we talked about previously, is that Dean Blandino has come out and said that there will likely be changes to that QB sneak that everyone but Philadelphia Eagles fans absolutely hate. So I am happy to hear about that because it is such a ridiculous play to me, and it takes away from the fun of actually having a team potentially stop someone at 4th and 1 and 4th and 2.
See, I think I don't mind it. I don't dislike it nearly as much as you do. And kind of when we discussed it, I think teams should invest more time into trying to figure out an appropriate strategy to stop it. The argument for why it will probably be.
But then they're just going to start killing each other.
Well, the argument for why is from a player safety standpoint.
Yeah.
It's a pretty, when you're trying to limit like head to head contact, this is a way to kind of guarantee, multiple head to head contact in a single play. So I understand why they're probably going to get rid of it. But I do think if you're the Eagles, this will be Eagles fans. If you're buying into the NFL conspiracy, the combination of the slightly soft penalty towards the end of the game to kind of steal the game for the Chiefs, and then them taking away the play that your team had mastered that any other team could have employed. Some did, but you were the ones, the kind of the, the starring example of how to run it. You could see why you might feel as if I guess the argument would be, if this had been Belichick Brady era Patriots play, does it get outlawed? And part of me says no.
Yeah, well, Deflategate, I mean, that's different. I don't have an issue with it. I mean, I think if anything, it'll make it a little more competitive again on those short yardage downs where even, I mean, it extends way more than the Super Bowl, because anytime you watch the Eagles or the one or two other teams that did very similar like strategies with the sneak, a defense would make a really nice stop and it'd be 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, and you think, oh, either they're going to punt or they're going to maybe try it, and then it would just be this QB sneak that would always get it. So I kind of think it makes it more fun again. It brings that excitement into like a 4th and 1 where can a team really F this up, where they sometimes more often than not do.
Yeah, but I guess this is the issue. If your mindset is it's from a competition standpoint, it's too successful, and that's not a good argument for me to outlaw a play, because then it would be like, well, we better do something. This Justin Tucker doesn't miss enough field goals for it to be exciting. Let's, you better wear an eye patch.
Well, there's too much offense already. 38-35 Super Bowl, that's too much offense.
But no, I think the argument is player safety, and that's probably what's going to be. I'll be interested to see how they word the ruling, because they're going to have to be really careful.
Quarterback cannot be pushed from behind.
Okay, so then how do we define the quarterback? So if you have a direct snap to the fullback instead, can we do it?
No, that he would be the quarterback for that play.
No, but you don't get
whoever's taking the snap.
Oh, so now you have to say whoever receives the snap. But what if I take the snap and very quickly hand it to another player? You see, I mean, they're going to have to be.
Okay, how about no pushing from behind?
Okay, so then does that outlaw all of those plays where
yes,
player
I'm fine with that too. Yes, because I think that's even. You know what? If I'm going to say what I dislike more, I think I dislike that part even more, because then that part gets very controversial as to when the ref blows the whistle. So just clear sometimes they'll start pushing,
because we know what we're talking about. But okay, so we're talking about the times like in running in the actual plays where a player kind of gets held up and they'll be just short of the first down marker or potentially just short of the end zone, and then a couple linemen come and barrel into them.
4 hog mollies,
and push them,
as Dave Gettleman would call them.
And you're right. The frustrating thing about that is there's so much inconsistency as to when the play gets blown dead, and you can see one play basically gain an extra 5 yards over an absolutely identical play simply because a referee, an official, hasn't decided there was forward progress, and he'll let it go. And that doesn't seem right.
Yeah. I'm okay with all of that then being cut out. But I doubt they're going to go that far. They're going to make some stupid rule that then is going to be controversial, and there's going to be a big call, not made or made, depending on this weird rule they've implemented. Oh, because the NFL just can't make any rule easy.
We're going to have a moment where it's like, 10-yard penalty because the running back's hand like brushed the ass of the quarterback as they went forward, and that's going to be interpreted as pushing. There's going to be, unless they word this rule very carefully, it's going to cause some real issues. But we'll see. Or maybe nothing will happen. Maybe I assume the Eagles are not going to be in favor of this rule change, so maybe they'll be able to convince enough other teams that it's not something they want made either. But you mentioned European football there, and obviously the Champions League was back. Wasn't the most eventful Champions League weekend.
Not a good start for the Premier League.
No, so you had Chelsea losing, and
Spurs
losing, which was probably maybe more surprising, but both losing in a way that they go into the next leg feeling as if they got a chance. PSG lost 1-0 at home to Bayern, which that's a real uphill task for them now to go to Munich and overturn a first leg deficit. And I like that Mbappe post-match said it's going to require that all the team focus, eat well, sleep well, really dedicated. And then Thursday night, last night in Paris, Neymar was photographed.
You saw him out.
I could have. Neymar was.
You were drinking with him.
He was photographed in a McDonald's at midnight after taking part in a poker tournament. So he is
nice.
He is focused on the things that really matter to him. So, and then I mean,
they do say French McDonald's is healthier, Eddie. So
it's true, and undoubtedly way better. But the real talking point from European football, well, football taking place in Europe, I guess we should say, was Manchester City going to the Emirates and getting a 3-1 victory that pushes them perhaps temporarily ahead in the title race. Arsenal can still go. They have a game in hand. So they're level on points, City ahead on goal difference, but Arsenal can retake the lead. But it does feel, after the weekend defeat for Arsenal, and then draw against Brentford, and then this defeat, it does feel as if it's over. It's starting to slip away. And
they have come back down to earth, and it is unraveling quickly on planet Earth for Arsenal.
Because now that long season looks a whole lot longer, and now it's not just looking over their shoulders at City.
Yep.
It's looking over their shoulders at United. It might even be looking over their shoulders at Newcastle. Like, I think an honest Arsenal supporter right now should take the top four and consider it a successful season. Right. And I know when they go, if they pull everything,
try and get top 4 now.
If they pull everything together and they win the Premier League, these will be words that come back to haunt me. But, United look like a little bit of a freight train in behind them. You got the experience, the City kind of been there, done that. Arsenal squad is thinner. The injuries are starting to take a little bit of their toll. And yeah, tomorrow, our time of recording, probably by the time listeners hear this, it will have happened already. They face this sort of dreaded lunchtime kickoff away to Aston Villa. It's one of those matches you should win, but you can easily slip up in. And anything other than a win, anything other than 3 points. If they don't get 3 points tomorrow, I will write the Premier League title race off tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, it's a big one. But this is where I think they start to feel it, is when they had 4, 5, 6 points in hand. It was a little bit of we got a draw. It's okay. We got 4 left. But now it's every match is vital. You just get 2 draws back to back. Oh, done. Goodbye. Game over.
A former co-host of the podcast, Sam, listens to this episode. What you have just said will trigger him no end. While he was in Paris last weekend, he was complaining about the fact that, according to the media, every match Arsenal play now is huge. Every match. Oh, if they drop points, it's huge. It's huge. Whereas City, it's not the same.
They're right.
Not the same pressure on City. He was complaining about it. I was like, well, it's true, because at least, City have the resume behind them. We know that they can string 11 wins together towards the end of the season and close a gap on another.
And that's the other thing too. Yeah, and I think Sam's wrong here, because City can slip up and they can lose a match or draw a match, but more often than not, I am confident they go in and demolish a team and get 3 points. Arsenal, I don't feel the same way, that if they pick up a loss or a draw, that, oh, don't worry, because next week they're just going to go in and win 3-0 to this team or to that team or to a lower team. Like, they don't have that type of manpower to just go in and manhandle a win. Like, I agree with the media, and Sam can come back on and shove it for all I care. But
well, the thing is, it's interesting too. When you look at Arsenal's run of fixtures now, it is a very winnable set of fixtures that they have coming up in the league. Away to Villa, away to Leicester, home to Everton, home to Bournemouth, away to Fulham, home to Palace, home to Leeds. Like, that is a set of fixtures where you kind of have no excuse to not pretty much win all of them. Those are all mid-table to bottom half of the table teams. So they should be going into those thinking, what is that, 7 matches? we should be able to win 7 on the bounce now. If we win 7 on the bounce, there's a good chance City will have slipped up at least once in that time, and then that gives us the gap again that we need. But then there's the reverse of that, which is there's a lot when the fixtures. I almost feel like if you're Arsenal right now, I think they would. If I were them, I would want to be playing like United this weekend, a game where you felt like if you were coming off a low, if you slipped up again, you could at least write it off. But now they're going to have all the pressure, all of that expectation of like we've got to get right back to winning ways now. It's going to be interesting, but I think the last 6 days have probably ended their hopes. And the last little talking point, I guess, from European football, Europa League, which we pay virtually no attention to, Barcelona and Manchester United did serve up, I think, one of the best European matches I've seen in a really long time. Barcelona kind of bossed possession, created some good chances, but United created the better chances. Probably didn't get the rub of the green when it came to the officiating. Finished in a 2-2 draw. Easily could have been. I think United probably deserved to win it on the balance of play, but a 2-2 draw away to Barcelona gives them every hope going back to Old Trafford. So that's, I mean, again, it's part of the reasons why I'm worried for Arsenal, because United do look like they've started to kind of figure things out, and Rashford at the moment.
Yeah. I was going to say, is it United that's figured it out, or is it Rashford that's figured it out?
I mean, you could make a legitimate argument that Marcus Rashford might be the best player in the world right now. The post-World Cup.
It's crazy.
And it's even crazier when you think he didn't start England's World Cup quarterfinal against France. Yeah. So you're talking about...
But also played great in the World Cup, too.
He did, yeah. He did. But yeah, I think you'd be hard-pressed to come up with an argument for a player who's been better we're only talking about a 6-week period, so it's not a huge sample size, but it would be difficult to find someone who has been more dominant, and especially because of the range of things that he can do in terms of how he's not, he's not like Haaland. He's not isolated from play. He's picking the ball up from midfield. He's driving at players. He's creating chances for himself. It's pretty spectacular, and it's going to be interesting. I think the person who must be the most worried about it in some respects is Phil Foden, who is currently not playing at City. You've got Grealish playing pretty well at City right now. Yeah. Rashford playing extremely well for United. Phil Foden, who was the player you could not leave out at the World Cup, he might be a player struggling to... I mean, he's obviously going to be in the squad, but he might be struggling to justify a place in the starting lineup for England for the next few months at least.
Yeah, and sad for him, but I love to see Grealish getting some time and playing well and putting in some good minutes, because he's looked really good the last few months. So
no, it's a nice story for Grealish, right? Because he had such a great attitude post City move, kind of taking the criticism, agreeing with some of it, and really riding that wave. And now he's getting an extended run in the City side. He's playing well, scoring goals, setting up goals, and kind of answering his critics in the process. And so I was pleased to see him score against Arsenal, because as part of the discussions with former co-host Sam last week, I said that I felt like Jack Grealish was starting to at least somewhat justify the price tag. He asked me what he'd done really lately, and well, he went to the Emirates and scored a goal, so Sam could take that.
I guess you also were with a one-time co-host, Ollie. Does he want us to mention Chelsea?
Guest. He was
one-time guest co-host, Ollie. Did he make any mention that he wants us to discuss Chelsea at all, or
no? I think
would you prefer we just keep them in the garbage can where they belong?
Yeah, I think the less said, the better from Ollie's perspective.
You once accused the Tennessee Titans of being trash adjacent. Where would you put Chelsea in terms of the garbage right now?
They're probably on one of those those massive garbage islands out in the ocean where just
just floating
just
along,
all of their new signings,
collecting more shit.
Yeah, all of the new signings. It's like their new signings aren't actually new footballers. It's like random disused
Pieces of
Yeah,
plastic.
like oh look, there's a Sprite bottle. Better sign him up. Oh, here's
Wow. Well, look at that Coca-Cola bottle. It's got some really neat tattoos on its neck.
Yeah.
Let's bring that over.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great analogy for what's going on at Stamford Bridge. But no, I did sit through with him on Saturday and watch the Chelsea match at lunchtime, and that was not the most pleasant of viewing. So yeah, I think the less said the better for right now. We'll see. Maybe they'll bounce back in the final few weeks of the season, but I doubt it. He did say he wants Champions League or no Europe. Doesn't want Europa League, doesn't want the Europa Conference. So if it's a choice between finishing 4th or 9th, he'll take 9th. I mean, he's probably lucky, right? Because it's a decision he won't be able to make, but I think he might get 9th. So he's going to get what he wants, but not because he had any say in it.
Yeah, it must be tough to watch Chelsea at this point. I think they have, 4 goals in their last 10 matches or something like that.
Yeah.
It must be some pretty shitty viewing.
Yeah. And this comes from someone who watches Blackburn week in, week out. So I know I'd rather be at Ewood Park than Stamford Bridge right now. So does that round up our sports discussion? Do we move on to The Last of Us and any other non-sporting topics that we'd like to discuss?
Yeah, actually, I guess before we get to the television, you mentioned you spent some time with Ollie and Sam. You had a new gift of a Kong beer funnel. Did it make an appearance out at the bar? How did it go?
Yeah, so for those completely, you can Google it. Well, we'll put a picture up on our Instagram and on Twitter so people can search for the Big Chill Podcast.
It's on Facebook all the time.
I know,
like
for you,
it hits those Facebook ads.
For you, I've never had a Facebook ad for it, but yeah, if you follow the Big Chill Podcast on Instagram or Twitter, we'll put a picture up of it. I'll probably even put up a video of it in use in the near future. I took it out on Friday night, the night that it arrived. So we took it to Bugsy's. I guess the downer slightly. For those to explain what it is, basically it's like a drinks hole.
It's a hard shell koozie.
Yeah.
It's a hard shell koozie that you can then screw into it a little tube that you can then create a funnel out of it. And then when the tube's not in use, it like nicely folds up and like just like connects to the side of the koozie to make it almost like a handle.
Yeah, a handle might be a stretch, but yeah, it's
maybe not a handle.
Yeah,
but
it's on the side. Yeah. So it made an appearance there. I think it mostly confused people. I was the only person who used it. I think that's probably understandable in the post-COVID world in which we live, right? I think that's
sad that Ollie or Sam didn't jump in.
I think Ollie might have if I'd pressed him. I think Sam, it was a total no-go. I only used
only one of our other friends who has a notorious reputation for funneling beers was with you, it could have created some excitement.
But I will say the liquid goes down really quickly. Like that is a fast funnel. So it took me by surprise when I tried it out once at home before we went out just to get an idea of like make sure it didn't leak or whatever. But when I tried it out in the bar, it went down quickly. It was definitely effective. But yeah, it's nice.
It's like an on-the-go funnel.
Yeah. Yeah, it really says it also comes with you can hang it around your neck.
What?
Yeah, it comes with what's the word for the like what you hang a badge from?
Like a necklace.
No, the
Oh, that's actually used to hang.
Yeah.
That?
Yeah.
I thought that was just like for your keys or something.
No. It's a clip for the actual Kong cup. So you hang it around your neck to carry it around with you, which is how I was carrying it around. It's a pretty big statement about who you are as a person. I'll say that much. Like the person strolling around with a funnel around their neck. I think
it's a lanyard.
Yeah, lanyard. Yeah,
that's the word you're looking for.
It tells a lot of people who you are before you even introduce yourself. So and that's what one guy.
Hey, who's this guy? I don't know, but he's got a makeshift beer funnel on the go, hanging off his neck
at work.
Stay away from him.
One guy I do know, an English guy in the bar, sat down next to us, and then he said, you claim to be American, but you're walking around with a funnel on your neck. So yeah, it was interesting. It's fun. I was disappointed that I forgot to take it out for the Super Bowl, and I realized we went out to eat.
Oh, you could have got people on a Super Bowl going.
I realized when we were out to eat, I was like, oh no, I forgot the funnel. And that was a disappointment because that was the opportunity to get it going. But yeah, it was, I'll take it out either this weekend or next. See if we can get some more people on it.
The only downside is at bars, you're not getting many cans of beer. So it kind of defeats the other purpose of the koozie to be able to kind of use it to keep your can cold.
Oh no, it's a pure funnel at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. It's much better if you're at like a tailgate or someone's house or something like that. You can use the koozie aspect of it and not just look like a jackass carrying a funnel around your neck all day.
No, it's purely funnel at that point. The other downside to it slightly is you do kind of need to wash the funnel out. Otherwise you will just be dripping beer all over yourself the rest of the day. So there's some slight inconveniences there. But hey, if they sponsor us, we'll start giving some rave reviews of this product over the coming weeks. And keep your eyes open then. Maybe we'll have a Kong giveaway on the podcast soon once they've heard that riveting discussion about one of their products. But yeah. Now, one thing I can tell you is it's not something, if a zombie apocalypse happened, it would not be one of the items that I'd be grabbing to take with me as part of my survival kit. Maybe it's
Hey, you got to stay sane too.
Oh yeah, party everywhere, anytime, anywhere. Oh, look at me! I'm going to funnel my own piss. This is how much of a wild card I am.
This isn't Waterworld.
So yeah, why not talk about The Last of Us? It's a good opportunity to say right now. Spoilers ahead.
Spoilers.
By now, if you're watching it, you should have seen the most recent episode. I promise I will.
In fact, I barely remember it because I watched it when it came out on Friday before the Super Bowl.
A week ago, yeah. I will try not to spoil anything beyond this episode. But yes, we will obviously spoil episode. What is that, episode 5?
5.
5.
Crazy part, there's only 4 episodes left this season, so we're over halfway.
And I can already say I will be disappointed when it goes away as a TV show, because it is the only thing on television at the moment that I look forward to. Like, I look forward to Monday evenings, which is for me the first opportunity I get to watch it. It's nice to have. It will be sorely missed when it is gone, which is, I think, the biggest compliment you can pay to a TV show after 5 episodes.
Yeah. No, it's a great show. And they're doing such a good job of still honoring that it's a video game, but at the same time putting into it more emotion and more character development, but still making it fun and exciting, but yet super emotional. And like, I was, after this episode, I was like, I don't know if I can keep watching this show because it's really depressing. Like, this episode in particular, we talked about episode 3 and how that one was like pretty emotional and pretty depressing at the end. And, like it like hits you. And my only critique for that was, it's a standalone story, but it doesn't really impact the main characters as much because they just get like a note at the end and, there's not as much interaction. But this episode in particular, you kind of start to like 2 people, and then those people are actually interacting with the 2 main characters, with Henry and Sam interacting with Joel and Ellie. And then, when they end up dying at the end, it makes it even worse because you can just see how distraught Ellie is, being a young kid and now seeing what the third person she's met in the past 2 weeks die. Like, anyone she like starts to form any sort of bond with is dying besides Joel at this point. So they did a great job of building up the Sam and Henry characters and kind of making them, making you care about them. And I think in the back of your mind, I knew they were going to die, but you still kind of have that hope, like, maybe they'll live. Like, who knows? And then you're just like, no, it's The Last of Us for a reason.
Yeah, no, pretty much everyone's going to die. That's not spoiling anything for anyone. But yeah, it's not going to. If you don't like the idea of characters dying, then this is not the show for you. But no, I think I thought they did a good job in a relatively limited screen time. Right? I mean, basically, yes, we saw them at the very end of the previous episode, but fundamentally, they were on art similar to the episode Bill's episode. You just had those two characters for a single one episode go, and they did enough in that time period to feel some attachment to them, have an understanding of their backstory, their dynamic, and then yeah, you get to see how it impacts the two main characters, which I do think we got out of Bill's episode too, right? Because his note at the end mattered to Joel. So I think it's interesting, right? We've had the one kind of standalone episode where we really see how that impacted Joel more in terms of how he then became more sort of caring towards Ellie as a result. And now we get to see one episode and how it really impacts her, and maybe how it almost hardens her slightly with this idea that, you know, the world isn't going to be comic books and joking around with a kid in a underground playground.
Yeah. And then, you know, the other aspect of still playing true to the video game, like I thought the scene of him having the sniper rifle up at the top and kind of just like picking off infected was really cool. And you can tell that was like right from the video game, you know, like you just had a feel of being in a video game, even though it wasn't CGI or anything like that. That was really good. I thought that the zombie attack was really good. The only questions I have, which it doesn't really bother me, but there seems to be, maybe it's just that some infected are easier to kill than others, because, you know, in that scene in the museum, those clickers were taking shots to the face and still it didn't budge. And then this one, Ellie stabs two of them in like the jugular and they just go down. So like, and I don't know, maybe there is levels of, you know, if a clicker is feeding, it's stronger and healthier, whereas these ones were maybe trapped down below for so long that they're kind of like a weaker version or something. Who knows? But that seemed a little consistent, but that bloater was pretty badass. And it's pretty cool when you find out that it's actually just some enormous 6'6" like bodybuilding dude who puts on this massive suit. I thought that was kind of cool. And when he like just destroys that Perry and like rips his head off, that was pretty awesome. So I like that.
Can we maybe talk? Two things bothered me about the episode. One, when they're getting shot at by the sniper, who in the end holds them up so that they get caught by the chasing group of vigilantes, or however you want to describe them. Why, when he
Stormtrooper aim?
Yeah, why, when he realized, now obviously he doesn't know that they're being chased at that point, but why, when he realizes that they can basically get around him pretty safely, why does he bother to try and go and, at first, not even kill him, try and talk him out of shooting at them more, which is his initial goal? Why don't they just all run, get across the bridge, and be gone? There's that bit that confused me. And also, then when the infected started to appear, they sat behind that car for a needless period of time. Like, it became apparent that they should have just been taking that as the opportunity to escape, while they were kind of being contained by the fire. They should have just booked it and run, and they waited an unnecessary period of time only for dramatic effect so that one of them could be bitten, basically.
As soon as the KC people like turned and saw this horde of zombies approaching, they should have just bolted. Like, that's your opportunity.
Yeah. And if it's
also like, go ahead.
If it's me too, I give credit to all those people for staying to fight, because I would have decided, like, maybe these people can contain them. I'm going to run because this is. You
got room for one more?
Yeah. I might not win any medals for bravery, but I might be alive afterwards to tell the story.
I don't think they're giving medals out in KC anymore anyway, so.
You can make one yourself.
Yeah. And like, going off of the bloater kind of just being a real person, you know, under a suit and not CGI, I thought the really crazy looking infected person that was like had their body upside down and was basically like spider crawling to Ellie.
The little kid.
Yeah, it's like a 9-year-old contortionist gymnast in real life. Like her body literally can do that. Like how she was. So that was really cool too. That they, it's crazy. Like, is that a casting call someone puts out? Like looking for an under 11-year-old who can flip their legs and crawl upside down.
Well, Frank, I think that's a casting call that gets put out quite a lot, but 9 times out of 10 it gets you arrested. I think that's the start to a lot of episodes of To Catch a Predator.
I would say it comes from a production company, but Harvey Weinstein might say otherwise.
Yeah. We're just got a standing casting call out just in case that ever we'll find something for you. But yeah, no, a really good episode. The most kind of the combination of action plus some character development. Probably the best episode so far. I mean, I did really, really like the Bill Frank episode. I think as a piece of television, that will be the best episode of this show even when the series ends. Like, I think that could have been its own TV series, could have been its own movie. I thought that was really, really well done. But in terms of combining the sort of main story,
but that only works because you have other episodes that actually drive the story. Like if you just had standalone episodes the entire way, like there'd be no story. It would just be like a collection of short stories during The Lost of Us.
Which I could be on board with.
Me too.
If you told me like
I agree.
We're going to have this TV show about the apocalypse and we're just going to dedicate like an hour to 90 minutes on different people in different places, and we're going to show you probably them dying because that's the realistic outcome every time, and we're just going to show you like what they did at the start, how they end up dying, I could be on board. If someone wants to come up with a zombie TV show or an apocalypse TV show where that's all you get, like each person and maybe they
it's kind of like Black Mirror.
A little bit, yeah. And maybe they do kind of connect at different moments. So, someone comes across something after someone else has been there or something like that, or there's a kind of domino effect from one character to another, but you don't see it within the same episode. I could like that, but no, I think this one combined, a lot of action, character development, some sad parts, a lot of reading what a deaf kid had written on a flip chart thing.
That ending, that was brutal. Like afterward, like it's so bad because like the episode ends and then I just sat there for a good few minutes just like, wow, okay, great, now I'm super cheerful.
So that was also, I mean, in the video game he's not deaf. I think that was a interesting addition, kind of changing that dynamic and made it more kind of, you could see then the kind of way they had to interact with each other was more compelling.
And the ages are different too in the video game, I think.
A little bit. But another difference is he doesn't tell her that he's been bitten before they go to sleep in the video game. So she wakes up and he's a zombie, but she didn't know ahead of time that he was probably infected. And you have to question her from a decision-making standpoint that maybe she's super optimistic that her blood is a cure, but that just felt like, I interpret that as her trying to calm him down, to put him at ease.
So did I.
Not that she actually in any way actually believed it. So for her to doze off, I know she's can't be infected, but he could just,
kill her.
Yeah, just bite her neck and she's dead.
Which he almost did.
Yeah. Or he infects the other two, in which case she's totally screwed anyway. Not a lot of responsibility there to just...
No. Maybe that'll wake her up a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah. They also do a really good job too of not being over gratuitous with the violence. I mean, yes, it is a very violent show, but they purposely don't show you a lot of the deaths. They happen off the screen and you see more the character's reaction to them, which I think is more meaningful and it hits a little more. So for instance, when Joel kills that kid who tried to kill him, but then Ellie shoots, you don't actually see Joel stab and kill the person. You just see Ellie's response to hearing the kid die. And then in this one, you do see Sam is the younger one, right? gets shot, but you don't see Henry kill himself. You just see Ellie's reaction to it. And I think I think hits even harder because she does a great job of putting her emotions out there. So they're doing a good job in that sense too, where it's not just, hey, you know what was great about Game of Thrones? Like, people love the violence, so let's just show every violent thing we can. They're picking and choosing very well and making it meaningful.
Yeah, and it opens it up to a slightly wider age range. Like, I wouldn't be wanting to watch this show with a 10-year-old, but you could be, but you could be watching it with, if you have a kid and they're, I don't know what age that's done, 12, 13, I'd probably feel comfortable watching.
Middle school?
Yeah, watching that on a regular basis. Like, there's not too much. There is the violence, but you're going to be seeing that they're going to be seeing the violence. And if you've played the video game, the video game has more gore than the TV show. So there's already that. But no, I do agree with you, because it would have just been gratuitous to show the suicide. It wouldn't have added anything to it. And so what's happened. You can appreciate it has the impact without just having to go through the process of showing you someone blow their brains out. But I don't know, if I'd been him, I probably would have stuck it out. But I think you get to that point in the world. Maybe I'm wrong. Never had to live through the apocalypse. But I feel like you would have had to come to terms with the fact that I'm going to have to stick on by myself. Probably at some point.
Yeah, maybe. My question to you, Eddie, is they're holed up in that attic for 3 weeks or something like that, just eating cans of food. Could you survive off of cans of food? Not being able to heat them? Like, think about just having to eat cold green beans.
Cold ravioli in a can. Or whatever it is, yeah.
I mean, ravioli would be great. But you're getting probably, compared to some of this shit you're probably getting, think about it. One might just be cold sweet corn or something like that.
Sweet corn. Well, cold. You've actually picked one there that the temperature doesn't add any, but like cold, I don't know,
beans,
a soup like or something, and it's just it's congealed.
A soup would be gross. Yeah. Oh yeah, like a thick soup, like a chowder, a clam chowder. Cold clam chowder.
Dream come true. Could I live? I mean, you'd have to, right? All things considered, not the worst scenario.
I guess all things considered, how much better meals are they getting anyway? They're just eating beef jerky or warm soup. Well, so it's not like it's that far off.
Chef Boyardee got rave reviews from them. So this is... Canned food seems to be a prized commodity. I mean, that's caviar at this point. But
God, not being able to eat pizza or cheeseburgers would just be brutal. Be so brutal.
That's when you take yourself out?
Yeah, that's honestly 50% of my meals.
Yeah. Again, if you went off into the woods, cheese. We've discussed this already on one episode, but the lack of dairy would be your undoing for some of those things. You would need to be... Now, if you told me there's someone out there in this universe who was just a dairy farmer in the middle of nowhere.
Still, for sure.
And he's still breeding his cows.
Crushing it.
And he's fine. Life is,
Let's hope Ted Turner's still alive, because he reintroduced the bison to America. So maybe he's got a huge herd of bison.
Well... Not to be... I think Ted Turner, 30 years from now, is dead no matter what the scenario is. But
this is Ted Turner 20 years ago.
But then 20 years in the future. Oh, yeah, it's present day.
So he'd be his current age.
It's present day Ted Turner, yeah.
I think he's like in his 80s now.
Yeah.
So maybe Ted Turner's not alive, but maybe his herd is alive. And he can have some nice bison burger.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
But you're right, and maybe we'll see that, because I don't watch the previews, so I don't know what the next episode is about. But I'm assuming they're going west. Who watches
the previews?
I know people who love to watch the previews.
I don't get it,
and I know people who get mad when you say like, "No, we're not watching previews."
Yeah, we both know people like that, but I don't understand it. I don't know why you want to know something. It doesn't increase my enjoyment when I then watch it. Of like, oh yeah, this is the bit we already saw.
I want no preconceived notion of what's going to happen.
I mean, I know, yes, they are going west. Assuming they
So I'm
follow,
assuming maybe we get that, you know, because
assuming they,
yeah.
assuming they follow the path of the video game. This is the thing, right? We don't know if this.
Well, they're going to his brother, and his brother's in Wyoming.
Yeah.
So
But for
unless there's
example,
a huge detour in the show, it happens very quickly. I have a feeling they're going to go west.
in the video game,
No spoiler.
this isn't
Just
a
don't
spoiler.
spoil.
This is not a spoiler. At least
It's not Kansas City.
at some point they end up in Salt Lake City.
Well, and also it's not Kansas City in the game.
In the
It's
game.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So it might be they don't end up in. So I'm not. They might not end up in Salt Lake City. I'm just interested to see if they do, because at least then I can maybe try and dredge the geography and be like, where would I have been? Like, how could I have? Where would I have gone? Salt Lake City is probably a great place to try and survive. Although there's some really depressing news at the moment about the Great Salt Lake, which is rapidly disappearing.
Yeah, and Lake Powell, but that's a different story for another day.
Talk about apocalypse. They've called it a potential apocalypse in Salt Lake.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess with that, we'll wrap up the episode. We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to you later.
See ya.
Here we go.